Hey guys, this is Dorian Day, and I'm here to introduce you to Sick Twisted Mind Studios, your source for modern sound. Today I'm going to be introducing you to our first product, Future House Bass Volume 1, a deep and future house preset pack for Xfer Records Serum. Let's watch part of the demo video. Okay, so now that you've heard what the presets sound like, or what some of them sound like, let's go into what you get if you get this pack. So I'm going to drag it over here. So let's see. The first thing you get is a bass sound design tip PDF, which I'm going to be finishing creating. It's basically the steps that I went through to create these patches, and gives you a lot of information about how to create good basses and good FM/deep house basses. Next thing you get is an instruction sheet on the best way to use these presets and how to get the most out of your sounds, and also tells you pretty much what I'm going over right now. You have our awesome cover art, the demo, just in case you want that. Now, the first folder you'll come to is the frames folder. The frames folder contains all the single cycle waveforms that make up the bass table. Then this bass table is something special, and I'll go over what it is. Next, you get all the MIDI files from the demo, and they're all keyed, and you're free to use these in your music and any way you want to. The next folder contains all of the actual presets. You can see their number here, 0101 to 05, and then 201 to 205. So this first number is the parent number, and the second is a child. Pretty much what happened is I created 5 different patch families, and then created 5 variations or presets underneath there. Each parent is slightly different. The first thing, and we can see some of it in here. So one of the biggest differences is the first set of presets, 1 through 5, is more of like a traditional synth bass with no FMing, and the last 4 parents have FM and are great for future bass or future house. The biggest similarity between all of them, besides the macro knobs, is that they all share the same oscillator table A, which is this table right here, the table bass, or the bass table. And then each one of these has a different oscillator B, except for the first 2. The first 2 have the bass table in both oscillator A and B. The first one without FM, the second with FM, and then I created 3 more tables for the 3 other parent families for oscillator B. And once again, all 5 parent families have the same oscillator A. And I'm going to start loading these up in a second. Next is the resources. The only 2 things in here right now are the kick and the Ableton rack, but I'm also going to be giving you the Ableton file that we're going to be going through today, and it has the kick already playing and all the MIDI files and a Serum patch open with the rack running it, and a mixing chain afterwards to get everything gelling with the bass right. This is the setup I used to make the demo. So if you thought those sounded good, you can just open up a project, load up a bass preset, load up a MIDI, and make a song. And then the last thing is the tables, and this is just the oscillator tables exported so that you can put these into other presets easily. Once again, table bass is the main table for the primary bass sounds, and then the other tables are sort of alternate tables that are used to complement or modulate. And then table bass demo is going to be I'm gonna make a demo pack for people who want to try this out with some presets and stuff in it. And I'm just giving it to anyone who buys it. All right, so we can look really quickly. Nah, nothing to go in there. All right, so let's start this up. So what's good about these patches? Well, I have the first patch set up 1.1, and you can see right here that these wavetables are really dense. If you go through, there are tons of different wave cycles inside of this bass table. And since this is parent group 1, this is also the same kind of tables we have here on oscillator A. Over here on the left, you can see the macro knobs. You have blur, bite, cut off, and twisted. And I'll bring up the manual so we can read up what those do. So just to go over really quickly, the 6 knobs that change these presets the most are the 4 macro knobs and the 2 wavetable knobs on each OSC. So this wavetable knob, and these 4 macros. The first macro, blur, increases the voice detuning, phase randomness, and adds a slight pan to the filter. If I click blur, you can see there's no pan on the filter, but on some of them there are. Not on this one though. There's only modulation on the detuning, randomness, detune, and randomness. These patches, this first parent patch group, have less detuning than the next sets. So if you like a lot of detuning, you should increase it. Bite. Macro 2 is bite, increases the amount of LFO2, which is used as an envelope. It's the amount LFO2 affects the filter and noise filter, and in the case of parents 2 through 5, increases FM amount on oscillator B by oscillator A. So if you click on bite, you can see that it runs to not only the cutoff on the filter, but also to the rate mode on LFO2. And the more you increase bite, the shorter or the longer this LFO gets, and it increases the sustain of the filter. Next, we have the cutoff macro, which just increases the filter cutoff. And finally, we have the twisted knob, which increases the impact of an envelope that's on the wavetable position knob of A. You can see envelope 2 is on wavetable position, and twisted is modulating that. Macro 4 is on envelope 2 as an auxiliary source. And that does it for use. These 4 knobs and then the 2 wavetable positions create an incredible variety of sound that the presets don't do justice. I literally could have made thousands of presets on each one of these wavetables. Well, maybe not thousands, but quite a few before they started to sound repetitious. And that's what we're going to go over today, because the demos show only one portion of this. So let's start with preset at 1. So you can hear as I turn the blur knob that it increases the, the smoothness and the spatial depth of the overall sound. Cutoff does exactly what you'd expect. Byte isn't super interesting in the first group of presets, but it's extremely interesting in the next group. And you can hear Twisted just add this, crazy plucking element to the sound. Let's turn the wavetable position knobs now. So you can see quite a huge range of sounds, and that's even before we turn FM on. This particular patch has some ring modulation, but that's only a minor change compared to what FM is going to sound like. Now you can see that the Twisted knob sounds better on some portions of the wavetable than others. Let's try another preset in this family. And another. I'm going to switch out the MIDI file. So quite a wide range of sounds compared to general pluck bass presets or synths. And that's even before we add FM. So let's start grabbing our FM patches, which blow these out of the water. But it's good to have a more traditional, sound palette to go to. So I'm going to turn down the byte. There's just so much definition and range to the sounds just by turning these knobs. And that's before turning the wavetable knobs. Let's switch out the MIDI again. This is just one preset. I mean, I've changed various things around between each preset, but you can switch between the presets and then turn the wavetable knobs, and literally you're getting thousands of sounds and presets within each preset because you're getting these specially crafted tables and the knobs that have already been calibrated so that you get a decent sound without much effort. Let's try another preset in this category. So you can go from tech to electro pretty quickly. This particular patch is making use of the comb filter. Let's go to another parent category. Let's go to 4. So here the difference that the blur knob makes on this sound. And these are things that you can automate to make an evolving sound or something that, subtly changes, has a human element to it, or that just goes crazy. And then you can turn the wavetable knobs. So just pretty much unlimited sound in every one of these presets. I some of these MIDI clips could be better than others, but I feel, the urge to make a song pretty much every time I play one of these. And I know firsthand the frustration of getting sample packs and them being crappy, which is the motivation for me now that I know how to make cool things to share it with other people and not make bad stuff. Because, it's frustrating to try and get good sounds and not know where to get them. So here they are for you to use and to learn from. And I'm going to be making a full tutorial video on how to use them, or how to make them, that is, so that you know what I did to make these. Let's go through a couple more sounds before you finish out. We'll go to the last parent group. So here's a more like traditional techie bass, but it goes into something crazy easily. Especially listen to the twisted knob. All right, well, there you have it. This is Future House Bass Volume 1. If you have any questions, you leave us some comments. Hope you enjoy it. Bye.